So I'm gonna come on here and do a quick video talking about how to clear the mud and keep the mud cleared. So basically the mud is everything that we have that filter us, everything that we have blocking us from rising up, getting through. So basically you already know I'm big on breath work. So I always start everything, I make everything revolving around breath work, everything that I do. Because either way, we use the breath to connect. We use the breath to center ourselves. We use the breath to just basically that. That's why people sigh. A sigh of relief. The breath is everything. So basically, let me get into this. What I like to do is, whenever I feel that I'm spinning, like that Mr. Crab meme, just don't know what's going on, I like to literally just center myself in myself. I close my eyes, no matter where I am. That just came up like the whole week I was in New York. That was very different for me because I'm from Florida. Like I'm used to mostly trees and being able to go to my backyard or in my spaceship and just chill and just be in my space. But in New York, it's hard to do that because you're constantly in other people's space, or you're constantly sharing a space with people. You're constantly, like, energies are constantly colliding. Like, whether you want to or not, it's just that in New York. So it's like, the way I had to ground myself, I had to do something really different at the time. Meditate in public. Before that, I never really meditated in public. I mean, around my friends, sure, maybe a little bit. Even then, I didn't really do it. But on that train, I literally had to ground myself every time because a lot goes on. And I was riding the train most of the time by myself, or for Elijah, if you're watching this. But, so I would sit there and just have my frequencies on in my ear. Sometimes I won't. It's a nice challenge to hear all the yelling and the train, everything going on, and then like you just put yourself in a position where you remind yourself where true power strains from. You remind yourself who's really in control. I could complain and say, "Oh shit," you know, I was doing a little bit of that, but New York's just not for me. I rather have trees everywhere and not be like indulging everyone's energy. But I couldn't make that a complaint. I couldn't point fingers, because I'm in charge of my energy. And the reason why I want, just hopping off track again, but still on track. Like, I wanted to move away and be alone, like on some monk in the Himalayas type. Like, I wanted to leave. I wanted to get out of here and be alone. I felt like, at first, this was earlier in my journey, I felt like this would be the only way for me to really find myself. Me not knowing what that was at the time, or really center myself. But then I heard Alan Watts, great, great philosopher. He said that it's better to be in the midst of chaos and be able to gain your peace than to go off in the Himalayas, gain your peace, than to come back here and then to be troubled. So it's like, what's the real challenge? I said I would rather just be able to center myself here in the midst of everything going on and not run away, because that would be taking the easy way out. And I'm not about no cop outs. I like challenges. So I gave myself the challenge, and that brings us back to just keeping myself centered in when I was in New York with everything going on. Just like I made breathing like I feel like that time I really embedded breathing into my days more than I ever did before. Before that, like I would do some breathing techniques, here and there, but I never really like had it throughout my whole day. So like that taught me to really like make breathing the basis of my day. Really helped me clear the mud and keep the mud cleared, because I realized where that mud was being cleared from and where that mud was like accumulating in or accumulating from anyways. It was within. So I closed my eyes. Let me tell y'all what helps me. I close my eyes. The thoughts come, sure. But I literally let them be there. I don't try to push them away. I don't try to focus on them. Matter of fact, I don't try at all. I forgot who said that. I don't know. I think it was David Hawkins. He said, it's like, when you say you try, like, there's no, like, there's a clear line. It's like, either you're trying or you're doing. There's no, like, you can't try and do. It's like, no, it's like, you're trying means, like, you're attempting, sure. But when you're doing that. You're just, like, no matter, it's like I can try to make a piece of art, sure. But in that, I'm not realizing that I'm doing the art. I'm like, it's like a dance with the art. It's me and the art. I'm being the art. So basically that brings me to the clearing of mud. It's like, there's no trying to meditate. It's like now, no, it's like you just put yourself in meditation, and now meditation is happening with you now. Now there's a dance with meditation and you. There's no trying. That's when we run into trouble, quote unquote, choke. Because it's like people say meditation's hard, but they're trying to do something when there's nothing to do. It's literally just be meditation. Let meditation happen and see that with all that's happening around you, right? Sometimes we attach ourselves to it quick, but we have to remember to be the observer and to let things happen and realize that, that I'm not part of this happening, but this is something that's just occurring, and just be. So like in the case of clearing the mud and meditation, we'll close our eyes, because anything could be meditation. You focusing on a movie and that only being your main focus, that can be meditation. You playing a sport, you making music, you doing whatever you love and being there in that only and nothing else. That's meditation without you even realizing. So if you want to do deliberate meditation, or just clearing the mud within yourself, or going within yourself to clear the mud and keep the mud cleared, what you must do and not try to do is just be there with yourself. Don't think too much of it. Just sit there and let the mud clear, because it will clear if you allow it. The only way the mud does not clear is when you're literally like, how could I put it? Like, because I see it in my mind. You're literally like, it's like the sand at the beach. Like you try to make the sand castle, and then the water keep coming in, like ruining the sandcastle. You like you freak it out. You just try to pull in the sand, pull in the sand. You're like, no, don't take my sandcastle. I worked so hard and created this my whole life. Like, just don't take my sandcastle. It's just like you're freaking out. You're trying to pull in that sand, but what's gonna happen? It's not gonna happen. It's gonna be really hard for you. Sure, you could do it. You're gonna pull in some sand, but it's obviously not gonna be the same sand from earlier. It's not gonna be the same sand castle. It's just gonna be a lot of mud accumulated. Yeah. And you just keep trying to bring that in, but it's slipping right through your hands. So it's like there's no trying with that. You have to let the mud clear. But sure, you can keep it close if you're. Oh, that's a nice catch. You can keep it close if you try to bring it in, or you can just let it slip through your fingers. Let the thoughts go, come and go, let them flow, and just be there. Don't try to do nothing. Don't try to control your thoughts. Don't try to control your emotions. Don't try to do nothing. Focus on your breathing. Brings me back to that. That's the main important part. Breathing slows down our thoughts. It puts our body in a rest state. The more relaxed you can get your body, the more you can just be. The more you give your body permission to be. And then you give your mind permission to just be. And now you kind of detach from that. You'll see that in my experiences. I find that like once my mud start clearing, like a good indicator that my mud is being cleared and it's staying cleared is that my meditation gets deeper. I start to feel like I'm leaving my body. Like I know that I'm sitting, sure, but I feel like it's like I don't recall like what sitting feels like. I just am. It's like I don't feel every piece of my body. I just am. And once I start feeling that, like with my surroundings as well, like I start feeling my surroundings changing. That's how I know that the mud's clearing up. And even then, because I'm still working on this now, even then, I'm not trying to, because pictures, lights, whatever, or thoughts, like those things will pop up, sure, but we have to just let them go. We have to just remain being, because in being, that state just becomes deeper. We become more connected, more clear. And I feel like that's what the mud clearing is. And we all can do it. But it's just a matter of doing and not trying and putting so much effort in something that's so close to us. Something that is so much us. It's like I tell myself, like, sometimes I find myself saying, like, oh, like I gotta get connected. And I remind myself quickly, like, no, I am already connected. I just have to clear that mud. And now you're good. We are always connected. We just have to clear that mud that's like, saying otherwise, Because it's not like that we have to do these things to, tap into ourselves. I know it's for sure they can help. But it's like we're already tapped into ourselves. Everything is just clearing the mud. Like we're so tapped in that, like, it's like a connection that cannot be severed. Severed? That's a weird word. Like, it's a connection that can't. It's the most real connection. So it's like, okay, if it's the most real connection, what gets me back to that connection? Just clearing the mud, removing those filters, reprogramming yourself. In a way, the easiest way to reprogram yourself is to clear that mud and just be. Like, no crazy things. Sure, you can do your affirmations and stuff, but your affirmations won't really work if the mud's not clear. If you're still in the midst of the turmoil of the mind, then the mud's not clear. And those affirmations aren't being registered the way you would like them to be registered. They're just in the clutter of the mud. But sure, over time they will accumulate, and you'll start to see little changes. That's why it's being consistent. So I won't say trying is bad. I never said that anyways. I'm just saying that in the midst of trying, remember that you're doing and that you're being. That the easiest way to do anything or to try at anything is just to just do it and just say, fuck it, okay, like I can do this, like I'm gonna try. There you go, try, right? I'm just gonna do this and just go in and see what happens. That's the best way. Because I feel like the only reason I use the trying like that is that I feel like in trying, we find ourselves doing too much. We find ourselves doing like literally too much, just giving too much effort in something that doesn't, like, needs the least effort ever. And that's just our natural state of being, to be. When we're being, we need no effort at all to be. It's the least effortless state ever. why it comes so natural to us. And that's why we don't have to try at it. We just have to be. Let that mud clear. And then see who you truly are. Infinite bliss and love. I love you. Thank you for taking your time and watching this video. I know I haven't dropped a video in a while, but I will. I'm working on some stuff. And I'm also working on being more consistent with whenever source telling me to put something out, just put it out. There's no, like, I can say I can try to make things perfect, but I realize in trying to make things perfect, I do too much. There's no making nothing perfect. Everything is already perfect. We're already perfect. That's why we don't have to try. Ooh, that's powerful, Spirit. That's powerful. We're already perfect, so we don't have to try. So in everything we do, like in things that we feel like is our purpose, like this, for me, I don't have to try too much. I just have to be. Now I'm dancing with it. I'm just letting whatever comes out come out. Not trying to alter things too much, not trying to try. Because that's when I run into the quote unquote trouble. And I'm in the turmoil. I'm not letting the mud clear. It's beautiful. I'm very grateful for all this. I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for breath. I'm grateful for being and the clearing of the mud and realizing our natural state. And that's just the I am. The I without attachments. I love you. Thank you.